Hi, everyone. Welcome to this amazing webinar who will be given by Gerardo Osorio. I am Gabriela Castro, the Executive Director of Global Chamber Metro Querétaro, and we are really glad to have all of you here. Thank you for connecting. And as you know, Querétaro is a great destination to invest and a great destination to live, as one of the attendees was only describing. And we will begin with our webinar. I will ask Doug, the president of the CEO and founder of Global Chamber, to give some words, some welcoming remarks, and after I will introduce Gerardo.
Thank you, Gabriela. Let me get my light on here. It still looks pretty dark. I don't know what's going on, but so sorry if I'm a little bit darker than normal. Thank you for joining us today. This is such an important topic. You know, the world has an infinite number of opportunities, and yet, how do you handle them? It really takes technology to be able to sort through all of this and to be able to help us manage our time. And so this topic today on using artificial intelligence for sales, I'm curious to see what the lean part of this means. But certainly I think all of us want to be productive, more efficient. We want to handle more in an effective way. And so undoubtedly we'll learn more today. So thank you to the Querétaro chapter for putting this together. Thank you, Gabriela, for your leadership, and Gerardo. We really appreciate your speaking today, and we look forward to learning more. Thank you, Gerardo.
Thank you, Doug, and always thank you, Cesar Trabanco, for all his work putting everything together. Gerardo Osorio from MH Services. He is the co-founder of MH Services. So as co-founder, Gerardo has redefined digital transformation, creating the transformative lean sales methodology. This approach, inspired by the Rebirth Toyota methodology and continuous innovation framework, has reshaped global businesses, significantly reducing sales closure times, lately using AI to boost sales operations. In the vibrant 90s, Gerardo played a pivotal role in launching NexusWare, a software powerhouse, and spearheaded its ambitious expansion into Madrid. After a decade of leadership roles with Europe's tech elites, Gerardo returned to Mexico in 2011. Driven by passion, he founded a consultancy to elevate Latin American businesses to global prominence. Today, this vision thrives across Latin America and in Madrid, Spain. As you know, we are all busy in sales. Worldwide, we are all following all the potential leads that we have, and it's hard sometimes to have everything done, the following up, new clients, do the job. So Gerardo, please tell us how you are doing and what you can share according to your experience regarding lean sales teams, and operation optimization.
Gabriela, first of all, thank you very much. Thank you, Doc, for inviting me to this webinar. I'm very excited to share with all of you not just my experience on lean sales. We have been, applying these lean principles for more than 10, 12 years so far. But apart from that experience, is like, as Doc mentioned, how technology, how AI has come to our lives to, of course, take advantage and make it easier. Not just as a tool, but as a teammate, as a strategic partner that we can actually use to be more efficient in whatever field we want to be working in. And now what I want to show in this webinar during probably 45 minutes, because I wanted to take some time for questions, It's our personal experience, me and my partners, my customers, and how are we dealing with new experience of generative AI. So I'm going to show you some slides here so I can be following some of the topics that I'm sharing right now, and specifically, which are the key takeaways that this webinar will reach. The first one is how we can embrace artificial intelligence as a strategic partner, as I mentioned before. And this is quite important because related with how are we using generative AI, probably most of you are having some different experiences using ChatGPT or any kind of AI into your daily basis. But the mindset and the way we can use it to optimize anything that we can do is relevant here. And this is one of the key points of this conversation. Then how we can incorporate lean methodologies in sales. Doug mentioned he's very curious about like what it has to do lean with everything that AI has to do with this. And if we are talking about optimization and what can we identify the bottlenecks of our pipelines, this is a point. This is a key point. And then how we can use ChatGPT prompts to enhance different aspects of the sales process. How can we equip ourselves with AI skills? Probably one of the most important things is not just to use ChatGPT on how to use it and how to be better in the way we are making progress in any kind of activities that we are. And from that point, I want to make clear the objective of this webinar. I really wish that by the end of this presentation, you will have a clear understanding on how to combine lean sales strategies with AI to maximize any kind of results you want. We understand that, of course, it doesn't really matter if you are selling a product, a service, or whatever you are, it's your business modeling. The point here is how you can adapt everything that you are doing to save time, to save money, and to increase your skills to have better results in whatever you are doing, Gabriela. So let's go to first initially to what is happening in the world and what changes it has been in the customer habits. Why? I would like to start from this point because we need a reference to understand exactly what is happening since COVID-19. And it seems that pandemic has been a long time ago. That's something that we all have feeling because we have now coming back to any of the normal activities. But the thing here is that it has become so a game changer in the way that we are relating with our customers. And the consumers can change. You are a consumer. You have been changing your habits as well. And in terms of the buying cycle, and this is very important to talk about like efficiency, we can see that this has been lengthening of the buying cycle for large purchases versus before COVID-19. So as we can see here, it's not something that we are feeling in our own particular businesses. It's something that is clearly happening in the way the large customers or big companies are trying to understand what are the best options and why is happening this. Because there are so many options, there are so many products globally, and probably your products, your services are very specific in the markets that you are selling it, but the perception of the buyer is that they need to really understand what it's going to be best for them. So analyzing return of investments, analyzing exactly what fits to their business model is taking a little bit more time. And that means that our sales teams need to be a little bit more accurate and efficient in the way they are doing things, because we're going to see it in the next slides. We are full of activities in the sales areas, and that's one of the things we are really trying to make more efficient with AI. But this slide, I remember I saw it when in 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, and before the COVID-19. Some of the things that it's been happening in the sales, in the buying process by the B2B customers is where it was really interesting, because Usually we thought in the sales process that our pipelines were linear. The pipeline was like, okay, prospecting, then having a contact, a meeting, a visit, proposal, negotiation, and probably a closing. But the point here is that, as we can see it, as Gartner is showing, and this is something that I can relate that it's very true, because I've been doing a lot of research with customers, is no longer linear. Even though that you can see that in this slide that the customer is taking a lot of time and a lot of meetings to understand not just the providers, products, or solutions, but also inside their companies, they're taking so much time to make a decision. The new customers is more confused about the options. It takes a lot of time to understand exactly if they need more budget or to be approved, and especially if it's going to be fitting with their specific objectives, and decisions are taking longer. So what does this has to do with AI? You probably are wondering, but it's all related on how it's this transferring to our current sales challenges, and how our teams are really taking longer, are really taking a lot of activities. So in terms of the time what we are spending time, you can see here that in the red corner, you can see that there's our percentages of how longer are we taking in each, I don't know, each kind of activities, as conducting sales calls, deal negotiation and closing, sales planning only 9%. I mean, in any kind of activities that we are spending a lot of time, we are not spending time exactly in the real, selling activities. So this is a concern that most of the companies are having, and I probably think you are having the same concern, that you are not having enough time to do a lot of things, because the following up and the calls and the meetings that we are all having are taking so much time. And it's not just that, it's just to prepare all the meetings, to have the meetings with our internal teams. And this is something that is killing us, and it's just killing us, and is killing our customers. So we're going back to this slide, when we are understanding exactly how our customers are taking longer to make a decision, and then we just match it with this slide that we are not having time to understand exactly what our customers want and how can we help them. Of course, we are having a problem. It's a management timing problem, and of course we need solutions for that. And this is the point when we, before AI and before everything that has to do with how to optimize with artificial intelligence, it comes to the lean methodology in sales. Well, let me tell you a story. And like probably 10-12 years ago, when we were trying to explore exactly how to solve this same problem that we were approaching by that time in our companies, technology companies mostly, we understood that we were doing the same things as sometimes most of the companies do. Is, okay, we need more sales, okay, we need more leads, we are going to invest a lot of money in marketing so we can have more leads, and we are very focused on closing probably 15-20% of our deals, and that will be a very good conversion. We were looking for solutions all over and methodologies, and what we found is that we had the solution in-house. When we were developing software, when we were developing our products, we realized that lean was very focusing on optimizing all the processes, and we started making some adaptations to the sales process, and we were very amazed on how we can identify our bottlenecks, and transferring this to an optimization of our lean pipelines. It was amazing, the results. Why? Because instead of spending a lot of money making investments in increasing more our marketing and anything that has to do with the lead generation, we realized that we wanted to optimize, instead of just closing 15% or 20%, up to 70% of our sales. So it's not how much you are investing in your marketing and it's more related on how you are optimizing everything that you are doing. So in terms of optimizing, that is when AI is a really game changer right now. Why? Okay, it seems like for most of us that we have been in contact with probably ChatGPT in the last, I don't know, 6 months, probably since February, March, that ChatGPT 4 it arrives in our lives. It was like an amazing tool, but this tool, it seems like it was sometimes for some of us a little bit complicated to understand how to make it really efficient. The thing here is tools are, really good if you know exactly how to handle it, and without the method, in specifically when we are talking about something that it's like AI, if we don't know exactly how to manage this, is gonna cost a lot of efficiency and a lot of expenses. Even though that ChatGPT is just 20 USD in their ChatGPT version, it's not real expensive. But if we are not really using it for the things that we want to optimize, probably you're not gonna feel that it's gonna be something that is gonna help you. Before that, what are the fundamentals of AI right now? Well, AI refers to a system or machines that mimic human intelligence to perform. And this is quite interesting. Why? Because it's not something that you are just going to use like previous tools or previous digital tools or CRMs, or even when you're looking for something in Google. It's not like you are having a new tool, a new machine that you're going to you're going to have conversation with it, and it's going to follow a lot of the things and the data that you are putting in, so it can respond in a way that probably it could be a coach, it could be any kind of expert that probably you need to request some help. So AI can automate tasks, provide valuable insights, and improve customer interaction in any activities. I want to give some examples, Gabriela, later, so we can actually see some of the things that we are exploring and how you can actually work with it. I was invited to a Salesforce conference, I believe a month ago, or probably 3 weeks ago. And one of the slides that was amazing is the impact that the generative AI has, it is having in our lives in the last months. Why? Because if you compare exactly when software migrated to the cloud basis or mobile has impact in our lives, it took for mobile 16 years to reach to 100 million mobile users. And with the social media came, it took only 2.5 years to reach to 100 million Instagram users. But get was generative AI like ChatGPT, it just 2 months to reach to 100 million users. And I believe from the last stats, probably it's now like 250 millions people that we are using ChatGPT, and this is amazing. It's like the new internet. It's something that is changing our lives, and probably if you're using it right now, you are realizing about that. But well, AI has been in our lives in different forms, and one of the things that I was researching the other day is that I don't know how many of you follow Beyonce, but in February, Beyonce announced the Renaissance store, and the impact of Beyonce and with all the dates in all the countries of the world, it has been amazing, but has nothing to do with the impact of ChatGPT in the same time of frame. This is something that probably it amazed to me when I realized it about this, because I never thought that something that it will be in comparison with the entertainment and it has nothing to do, in my perception, to something that it's advanced. It's something very technological. It has so many impact in our lives as the ChatGPT announcement, probably specifically on March 14 that the ChatGPT 4 version was announced, and how they impact us. And this is one of the things that is in this slide, the impact. One of the things that in MH Services, my company and my partner's company, are really working. It is an understanding how products and business models are having a real impact in our lives. And as you can see, ChatGPT, it's in this quadrant because it seems like it's easier to buy or easier to use. Probably if you're not using the ChatGPT 4 version, you are probably still using it, even if you're not buying it. But the impact that has in our lives is in our businesses is so big that it's not just impacting in businesses but also in our society. Why? uh, Probably you can imagine this, but most of the things that we are doing currently are related to building presentations, building proposals, building speeches, building videos with ChatGPT. Actually, these presentations, some of the parts of these presentations are built with ChatGPT help. So you can see it's a huge impact. But what about the seller of the future? And when we are talking about optimization, and when we're talking about like the things that we need to understand to really take advantage, is how the role of the salesperson will be about doing fewer things but doing them better. And I don't know about you, but this is some conversations, Gabriela, that I really remember that we have been having for the last years on how can we optimize everything that we are doing in our sales. And as you may know, in Lean, we are very focused on optimizing, and not just on doing fewer things, but doing it better. It seems, and I can relate this because of my experience working with a lot of B2B sales teams, that sales teams are not very tech savvy. And we are, with a lot of resistance sometimes to use CRMs and everything. But when it comes to results, probably we will have that inertia to do whatever we can to just get to the point that we are getting our sales. Well, for now, you're having on your side a specific coach, a sales coach, an expert with ChatGPT that is going to help you with any kind of activities that you think it can be optimized, even to increase any kind of skills that probably you are before trying to look in any kind of training or any kind of understanding on methodologies. While this future might seem like science fiction, and this is something that I always say in the last conversations with our customers, especially with teams, is not science fiction. It's something that you probably are going to be experiencing, or you probably are experiencing. So with you can actually refocus in salespeople where you can add unique value. You tend to unlock a step change in seller productivity and achieve significant revenue growth. When we're talking about revenue growth, we need to understand that Generation AI is a member of our B2B sales team. For now that you probably feel that it is in an early stages, it can talk like a person, it can recognize it like a person, it can distinguish objects like a person. So it feels like working with someone. And I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but probably in the terms of how we can make our sales teams, if you have, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, 10 teammates that are working in sales, the concept of FSNP that describe the 4 stages of psychological development a team go through as they work in a project is forming, storming, norming, and performing, where basically we are here. We are in the storming phase. And this is quite important because when we have been talking with some of the sales team, it seems like, a little bit of resistance, or probably they don't know how to apply it. And we're going to see exactly in which kind of activities you can apply it. But we need to help each other to understand that if we really understand how to make better prompts and how can we change our mindset on the use of AI, this is going to be really a game changer on your daily activities. Okay, so when we're talking about in which parts of the processes can we be really we are having a better understanding on how to apply it. We have like 2 different forms of applying. One is external, way that we are using with our customer. And when I mention this, it's not just probably sales, probably marketing as well. The way that you can do generative value messaging on customized value messaging, narratives, and anything that has to do with the communication with your customer, buyer facing AD driven sales bots, avatars, whatever you may need, or if you feel that you are not being enough clear with your communication with your customers, you can of course using generative AI for improve this. But as you can see in this slide, most of the sales teams are using AI for internal use. And why? Because of the reason that I mentioned before. We are all really busy. We are having a lot of meetings. We're having a lot of things to do, analytics, even to work in our CRMs. For those that are having currently CRMs at Salesforce or HubSpot that they are currently doing something with AI, probably it's going to be easier for them. But if you are not using a CRM that is still not connected to any AI, there's also solutions for that. Because I don't know if you already know, but you can upload any kind of file to ChatGPT and ask and request for any kind of analysis that you may need it. And this is something that it's really amazing, that it's really it's taking us to the next level to understand it, because most of the activities that are related to start thinking or making analysis is taking a lot of time for us, and it's exhausting as well. And well, some of the things that you can actually use it, don't worry, I can share these slides to you so you can actually check specifically later. But simplifying meeting workflows for efficiency, this is just an example. If you compare without generative AI, how much are you taking before this and conducting a call, synthesize notes, type follow-up, log into CRM? As you can see, well, it takes a little bit longer as you are dealing with generative AI. I don't know how many of you know Tactic, this AI that just help us in the meetings to make the transcript. But I just want to show you a little bit of how are we using Tactic currently, Gabriela. I don't know if now you have any questions for now, but it's amazing all the things that you actually can do with Tactic. I just want to make this example because I think it's very important, so you can see an example of what we're doing. Okay. Any questions for now, Gabriela?
No questions for the moment, Gerardo.
Okay, great. So I want to ask you to all the rest of the audience, what do you feel about the arrival of ChatGPT and everything that it just been in the last months with generative AI? Are you already working with ChatGPT? How do you feel talking with someone like AI in any kind of aspects? You can write anything or you can open your mix. So Gabriela, I think you can see the page of Tactic, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know how many of you are using this, but I want to give you an example. Okay, this is an extension of any of any of the apps that you're using as a video conference. But one of the things that happens when you make this extension is just makes the transcript. If I'm showing it right now, can you see it right now? It's in the right corner. Okay.
Yeah, we can see it right now.
Wow.
Okay. You can see that any kind of meeting that you are having in any kind of customers or with your teams, it can be transcribed in real time. But this is not the part that amazed me. The part that amazed me is what you can do with the transcript. So imagine that you are in a sales meeting, and instead of taking your notes or being distracted or whatever you want to do, in the face of the approaching, or in the face that you are having any discovery calls, whatever you're doing, you are having this transcript so you can actually check it later. But that's data and that's information that you're having really relevant for whatever you're doing. Okay, when you go to transcript, when the calls end, what it happens is just the tactic just opens your account and showed you exactly all the transcripts that you are having during the day or the last days. And when you open these transcripts, you can see exactly all the transcript and all the conversation. But guess what? In the premium version, you can make a prompt here, or you can actually write a detailed summary, so it can show you exactly all the conversation. But honestly, in my experience, it's this feature is okay. But what I'm really using this is that you can export this file, and when you export this file, then you can use it in ChatGPT and then make a prompt, so you can make proposals, you can make whatever you want. And this is just an example of all the things that you can do it to save time and to understand exactly how you can use. Yes, we are going to share. We're gonna share AI tools that we totally just suggest. But when we are talking about optimization, believe me, this is saving us at least 3 to 4 hours a day, Gabriela. It's amazing the things that you
Okay.
can do, but not also that. Imagine that you can just think about the way that you can prompt something and having a specific prompts that it can build proposals related to your product, to your customers, to request to the transcript that understand specific pain points and everything, is just taking you to the next level on optimization. That means better proposals, better closing rates, better conversions. And this is just one example of all the things that, of course, you can do it in terms of optimizing meetings. But yes.
Gerardo, I'll stop you a minute because you asked a question to the audience, and Cipele wrote a message that yes, we use ChatGPT and other AI for our sales team internally. I find it to be a great base to help speed along processes so that our teams can focus more on interactions versus creation.
Oh, great, great, great. I think that's a great news, because I think as long as most of us are using generative AI, we're gonna be, of course, getting a lot of more experience, and of course we can be sharing some of different applications and optimizations, and we will be very glad to hear about not just your experiences but your results on that. How much time are you saving, or the results on the conversions and everything. Please feel free to share it in your chat. And it says Addis is saying that they're using Fire files for meeting notes. Oh, great. And audios and transcriptions, but I'm willing to explore Tactic. We are giving you some link to use Tactic, really. But the point of Tactic is the other thing that I'm mentioning. How can we use it? Mix it with ChatGPT, and that takes you to the next level. Okay, let's go to the next slide, Gabriela, so we can actually start exploring more examples of this. This is just some stats, how we are enabling salespeople using IT automation systems make their prospecting efforts more effective. That's if you are still doing some, calls or whatever you feel that you're doing in your prospecting phases. Of course, this is going to help you. Why? Because you can actually ask ChatGPT to make some scripts or anything that you want in different tones, different forms that you can actually apply in your daily calls with your customers, as well as it allows your sales teams to spend more time selling instead of administrative or operational things that probably are not really focused on taking you to the objectives that you want. And in these terms is, as I mentioned it before, in my experience, and I can tell this because of my partners here, Eduardo Luna, we're saving a lot of money. I can see that Gabriela as well, that we're working together. It's saving a lot of money, doing a lot of things and this is amazing how we can do it. Okay, I'm just gonna try to be really specific on the ChatGPT. As I can see, most of you have been some experience on that, so I'm not gonna be spending a lot of time telling you what is ChatGPT and what we can do. For that is a generative AI that the difference with machine learning is the machine learning is just analyzing some of the data and it can give you some information. But the same thing happens when you're using other tools like CRM. They are just gathering information. And of course, they're going to show you the information, but the analysis is just taken to another level with ChatGPT. So we need to make this a strategic partner for us so we can use it in the right way. And when we're talking about using it in the right way, we're talking about prompting. I don't know how many of you are familiar with prompting. I know that a lot of people are using it in so many ways, but prompt engineer is something that it's been using in the last months as something to have a really good expertise on how to use it. And I like this analogy that's prompts similar to the world of cooking. Prompts are something similar to recipes. The chef is in charge of following those instructions and putting his skills to work to achieve the desired results. A delicious dish in the case of the chef, and a current text when we talk about AI. And we're going to see some examples, Gabriela, on this way, and how can we actually make structures of the prompt of a prompting or anything that you can do so you can explore these suggestions that we're having. Not everything that generative AI is giving to us, it's of course in the right stage to understand that it's right as as we might think. Of course, we have biases here, and we need to be very careful in this field because the way that we are talking to the AI and the information that we are trying to expect to as an output is something that we need to really analyze. My suggestion, because that's something that I've been doing in the last month, is just to make some conversation that make to make understand and to probably to say no on the things that the ChatGPT is saying to you on whatever topic you're talking to, and just to make a little bit more accurate the responses. And believe me, it learns, and in some cases it just can give you a very accurate data in this way. Of course, there are a lot of concerns about generative AI. Our suggestion: try not to put some specific information on your business or anything. Probably I'm being a little bit paranoid here, but I usually don't give information that it could be risky. In these ways, data privacy, hallucination, intellectual property, and whatever you feel, it's like a very sensitive information. Probably in these stages where norms or legal aspects are not really applied to the AI, I will suggest that you are a little bit more careful on this. But in terms of different things that you can do with yourself in general ways, probably you just need to trust that this is going to be very helpful for you. So let's go to the prompt, the structure prompt. Okay, we have some structure that we have been testing in the last months, and I can tell you that Eduardo Lina is my partner here that is here. He has really been exploring so many different prompts, and we have been applying it in since the initial phases of ChatGPT. And one of the suggestions that it has been working very well is this kind of a structure. I know that initially when we start using ChatGPT, probably we're using it in a different kind of ways. And one of the examples that I love to give is when we are planning a trip. This is something that has nothing to do with sales, but it's a very good examples on how we, before AI, were requesting to any kind of searchers. I'm talking about Google. If we are going to plan a trip, we just go to Google and you just write a 1 week long trip to Europe itinerary, and you just get some results. But that's it. And then you have to get into these web pages to analyze and all these things. Well, if you have that inertia, probably when you start using ChatGPT, it's going to take a little bit longer, so you can start using ChatGPT with structures and in a way that you are getting results. So the difference when you are searching in any kind of searchers, I don't know, planning a trip, to use it with a prompt structure is that you are going to have like these 4 stages that we are suggesting. First, the role of the intelligence plus instruction. In any kind of situation, we suggest that you use the role of intelligence and instruction. As an example, if you want to optimize your sales pipeline, you can put act as a lean sales consultant expert on optimizing sales pipelines, and then the instructions so that they can really understand that they need to fit into something that is going to be for a very and a specific output. Then the context of the situation is really important, because as long as we give more context of the situation and be more specific, remember, it's going to be more accurate on the responses that we are giving. Then the input, the blueprint of the, in this case, is the customer purchases. I'm in the initial planning phases. I've been bought a plane tickets or made hotel reservations, whatever you name. And the most important things, what is the output? What do you wish to get as a suggestion? And this is kind of the structure prompt that we are suggesting. We are going to give you as well a file with the suggestion for at least 20 prompts that you can use in different kind of phases of your pipeline, so you can actually start working and optimize. It can be different kind of situation. You can apply it to any kind of segments or products that you want, but this is some prompt structure for sales. As you can see here, role of artificial intelligence, we are giving some suggestions that customer services, e-commerce specialists, SDR, BDRs, AI camps, sales of whatever you may want to use in the context of the situation, or anything that you probably feel that you want to give. This is the kind of prompts that we're going to share with you. In this situation, do you remember that I was using tactics? Well, in these situations, what you can do is just go to the file to export the file, and then you can prompt this and upload the file of your transcript, and actually, just give this prompt, and you can actually have a specific, complex B2B sales proposal. It is amazing. Of course, we don't have too much time, Gabriela, to make all the examples that we wish, but what we do want to share is all the things that actually you can actually optimize using generative AI, as well as another prompt of to improve customer qualification. That's another kind of things that in talking about lean, we suggest make your qualification the winner stage. Don't wait until the proposals and negotiation phases. If you are working in your qualification phases, believe me, you are going to have a really high rates of conversion. So in these cases, you can explore how to do your qualification stages better. And another is how to improve the sales processes as well. I mean, if you are feeling that you are already recognized where your bottlenecks and everything, of course this prompt can help you for that. So I just wanted to show you some business cases. I don't know if we're going to have enough time, Gabriela, to show the business cases. I don't know if we are with enough time. What do you think?
How long? 5 minutes?
Probably 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so when we're talking about the business cases, and I suggest that you explore this situation in ChatGPT, because it's really amazing. You don't have to write any specific things about your customers. You can relate to something that it's very similar to your customer, and then from that point, just make the business cases and make your ChatGPT to understand exactly how they can help to understand this situation of the customer. Whatever situation it is, it doesn't really matter if it's not your sales process or whatever you're doing, but you can put here the business case here and add some. Yes. this business case. Okay, and suggestions. Okay, just to understand exactly how any kind of business cases that you're having on the any kind of situation of these business cases. But the point here on how to make it better is how you can prompt it. I just give it some indications with exactly what you want to understand, if you could be, I don't know, any sales consultant, or even if it's your company. Okay, this is some of the things that ChatGPT is giving to us, and the suggestions on this problem of this business case. But if we are applying the specific prompt that we are giving to you, of course, it's going to be more accurate, and of course, it's going to be probably the different situation of this. As you can see here, I just copied a specific instruction, and for that instruction, of course, it's going to be more specific and accurate in comparison with the things that we explored before. So then you can analyze exactly all the things that all the points that are suggesting in this chat. But in my experience, when you are really engaging on the data that you are bringing, try to understand exactly which are the things that are more relevant related with the output. So this is just an example. These are some of the things that we, of course, are going to be sharing with you in one file and in documents, so you can start exploring. But as I can see, some of you are already using it and probably are exploring different ways of optimizing this and all the information. It could be, longer, but I would like to share all of you as well. For these last minutes, some of the things that you were requesting, which other tools. I mean, we need to make a difference between generative AI, using it as an expert. I don't know how familiar are you with the plugins, or even with the advanced data analysis. That's something that is some features that I really suggest that you keep or explore in ChatGPT. But also, if you want like different tools to explore, I don't know which kind of CRMs are you using it. Some of the more competitive AI CRMs are in the market right now. Can you see it? I don't know if you're seeing my slides right now. Can you see it?
Yes,
we do see it.
Okay, great. So there's some suggestions. Of course, it depends on what do you want to approach. If it's enable sales reps, or make some sales analytics, or automatic sales activities in Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive. Usually they are already working with some AI to connect it and to understand more of the information that you have in your CRMs or any marketing platform. But if you are not using any of these products that are connected already with AI, you can also, in my experience, you just download your Excels and probably upload it to the advanced data analysis feature in ChatGPT and request with a prompt some specific analysis. That's something that most of the small companies that are not using CRMs with AI are doing, and of course with a very good results. You can use the plugins, of course, and the plugins are, if you are in the ChatGPT 4 version, you can actually activate any kind of plugins. In the last, I don't know, news is what, like 800 plugins in my opinion. You should, I mean, like, of course you're not using any of the 800, but which ones am I using? Well, in my kind of job, of course, I'm using the Prompt Perfect. The Prompt Perfect can help you to optimize any kind of prompt that you're doing. I'm using the slides creator. I don't know the exact names of the slides. You can do the PowerPoint presentations as well, of course, without design and everything. But if you need some structure, but you need to make some very fast proposals, you can do it with that. I mean, there's a lot of plugins that you can do. The other day, Gabriela, I was using one prompt to explore what was going on with my car. My car has been having problems in the last months, and I was really desperate because I never found anyone that helped it. And there's one prompt, so you can use it here. In other AIs that you can use it, I already showed you the tactic one example. You can use Gamma. Gamma is making a great evolution. Is so you can do presentations just with a prompt and with designs. And yesterday I was using it, and the new version is really connected to that you can improve any separate slides with different prompts. This is amazing. The time that you are saving with presentations and everything, I know that probably you already have templates and everything, but the structures and everything, you can use it. As well as we have been using the video use cases that it's in what we are sharing right now, and the talk to PI. I don't know how many of you have been using PI. I use it for my personal coach, and it's also amazing the way that the responses that you're giving. I know we are very short on time, Gabriela. I could share a lot of things that we are already using it, but this is just a very brief understanding and sharing of that we're using, and I hope it could be helpful for all of you.
Oh yeah, Gerardo, wow, a lot of information, a lot of things to do to modify as this ChatGPT is new to all of us. And I don't see questions here. However, I have a comment for you. I saw in one of the slides, of course, that says method plus AI equals better results. And that is one of my questions, that many of us jumping in ChatGPT, and sometimes we don't have the right methodology. We are exploring, and briefly, how, after, of course, seeing all your presentation, briefly, what do you recommend for the first stage, the ones that are just jumping in ChatGPT and they are trying to do the best they can?
Sure, it's a very good question, Gabriela, because when we start using ChatGPT months ago, we realized that it's all about the way, like it needs to change the way you're making questions. I mean, probably most of you are related with the sales process or having experience in the sales. As you may understand, when you are working in sales, one of the most valuable skills is how to make questions to your customers. Well, one of the things that we suggest is that you apply this prompt structure, because the structure per se is a methodology. Okay, so that's probably something that I didn't explain because we didn't have enough time. But when we just brought all this, the understanding on how AI or generative AI was working, we just understood that we need some structure. Why? Because if you don't do it that way, it's probably you're going to transfer all your bias and the way you are requesting things, and initially you're not going to see that the responses of ChatGPT are very accurate or valuable as you think. When you start the way of you are requesting things or making questions, you're not just going to realize that you're working better with AI. You're just going to improve the way you're working in general, even without AI. So my suggestion is just to get closer to some methodologies. I mean, we suggest Lean because that's what we have experience with. But in any kind of situation, I mean, if you want to explore value selling and if you want to explore any other methodologies, just try to pay attention in that aspect so you can get better results. Remember, depends. If we just bring the right data, we are going to get the right information. If we just don't get the right data, of course, we're not going to get valuable information.
Thank you. If anyone has another question, and feel free to open your microphone. And you can contact us. There is a link to Gerardo's LinkedIn page. I put all my coordinates. If you have any question, please contact us. And thank you very much, Gerardo. It was really very clear. It was, I think that it opened our big eyes for all of us on how ChatGPT and AI can help us not to be as busy as we are and to do the follow-up, the CRM in a better way and focus on other things that we need to be to focus. So thank you very much. And I don't know, Doug, if you want to give some closing remarks.
Well, Gabriela, thank you. And thank you, Gerardo, for this really great information. In terms of things that are coming up, what's your plan, Gabriela? I think there's another one of these sessions in 2 weeks and then another session in 4 weeks. So it's a 4-program series. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Doug. And we are I am not sure if there will be 4 or only 3, but yes, there's another one in 2 weeks. And
Okay.
it's Natalia, also a member of the advisory board, who will be speaking on long-term connections globally.
Okay, very good. So that sounds great. So no, I think this is a little bit of an unusual meeting. Usually we have interaction between people, and so, but sometimes we will, present these things. I would presume that what she'll be doing is giving more of an interactive conversation so that folks can ask questions and introduce themselves and things like that. It's really important, and that topic is a great one for that, of how do you reach out to people that you need to meet? And Gerardo's information is, now that you've got those connections, how do you move them forward in productive ways for your business? So I like the theme and the thread that you've created here. And I continue to encourage all the members to be participant in events, but also reach out anytime if you need some help. One of the things about global business is that you just kind of never know what's going to happen, positive and negative. And so if something is happening positive, let us know. If there's some place where you're stuck or you need some help, feel free to reach out as well. Sometimes just a little boost from here or there can help you. So our goal really is to help all of you be more successful and be there for you, because we all need that help. So Gabriela, thank you for the opportunity today.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you everybody for connecting. Have a good day.
Take care. See you in 2 weeks, and in the meantime, we've got a lot of other activities going on. Take care.
Sure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.